Take Me Home is a Shamrock Rovers documentary. It follows the journey through 22 nomadic years and the battle for Tallaght Stadium.
Alright, this is a good one.
Well, today we're in Crumlin, also known as the hotbed of talent, as someone likes to call it. And we're talking to Barry Murphy. Baz played in the first ever game at Tallaght Stadium. He was our goalkeeper.
He was one of my favourite players when I was watching Rovers growing up, so it's really exciting to have him here in my house.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked. Tomorrow it's Pat Scully. We're going out to Naas to talk to him, so that should be interesting to say the least.
The standards that you expect from players in the team. And the standards are very, very high at our football club, you know.
It's a bit of a 2006 team at the moment, but we've interviewed players across 4 different decades, fans, volunteers, board members who were there through it all, have seen it all. People who saved the club from extinction.
I've always been interested in videography. I've always liked just making films. I've been doing that since probably I was about 12 or 13. And I'm also a big Rovers fan, so a lot of football fans that I spoke to kind of didn't really know the story of Rovers and like the 22 years we spent homeless, and a lot of them did not have the patience to hear me ramble. So I decided I might as well try and make a documentary of it. And I knew Carl because he obviously made Tales from the East End, and I asked him if he was interested, and he jumped on board, and all went from there.
We shot in several locations so far. Morton Stadium, of course, one of our many home venues in the 22 years. We filmed in front of the Milltown monument. But I think part of the fun is visiting all these different shebeens. You know, we've often gone out to James Cook's place in Aylesbury. He calls it the Glenmullar Inn. We filmed in Paul Thomas's man cave in Kingswood. Dave Carpenter in Raheny, and Mark Lynch in another man in D12. Very impressive man cave full of memorabilia. So
it's just kind of really cool to just see different locations and different places filled with Rovers backdrops. It's really interesting.
We began filming a little over a year ago, but during that there was a long hiatus for obvious reasons. It's quite difficult to arrange interviews with all these restrictions, but once we got back into it, we've made great progress so far. Funny moment so far probably for me was when we were interviewing John Byrne near Harcourt Street, and we were kicked out by the park ranger because it was the 5 o'clock curfew, and he basically rang his bell at us like the town crier and chased us out. Yeah, that was the best so far.
If it had happened to any other club, they wouldn't have been around. They just would not have been around. And there was people that loved the club, kept it going.
The 3 things we get asked the most is, how long will it be? And the answer is probably about 2 hours. Then there's, how much more do you have to do? And I think maybe 10 more people to be interviewed, so we're nearly there. And the 3rd thing is, how are you going to edit all this together? They always ask. How many hours of footage do we have so far?
Oh, too many. We've got about 60 hours so far, and we've still got like so many interviews to go.
So yeah, a lot of editing to do. So just don't talk to me between December and February.